Okay, we're getting back on this training. Took a couple days for this goo to dry on here. My 3-bond sealer. Damn. So that's what it looks like. It's sucked in there pretty good like I knew it was going to. So it's not real sticky now like it was yesterday. So that part there is good. So I was getting ready to clean up my bench here a little bit, and then I saw this O-ring here buried underneath there. Under there. That is a seal that goes inside of there over the gear to make it not leak. So that means I get to pull this back apart. So we got a new seal. So now I get to see how to get a seal out of a training case. So we're going to have a punch to poke a hole in it. A big puller here with a screw on the end of it that you screw into the seal and you yank it out. So, fun. At least it's not all the way done, but close. It's always nice when you find these little fun things here in the middle of the job. Alright, I could just leave it, it would work, but we would spend all the money on these gears and stuff to use the seal, so we're going to put the seal on. Okay, so basically, we got to put a hole in this end of it in here, but you want to make sure you don't jam this completely into this bearing and screw it up. Oh, there's a hole that's going to leak. You want to go 180 apart. Like that. So now you got 2 holes in there to pull with. I like oversized hammers, they work better. So that's how the first one goes. So see, he doesn't want to pull the seal out. That's the way we go to the next one. When they're fresh, they're in there tight. Especially if you Loctite them in first. So this appears to be not wanting to come out. So that one looks like that. So I get to do it again. Of course I get interruptions, a phone call. Hello. Yep. Yeah, I'm here working. I'll be here probably about 3 hours where I'm going. Okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. Okay. Bye. Put a bunch of holes in here so I can get it to pull out eventually. I got a whole bunch of them to screw in there with. So what you do is you start working your way around a circle and start to pull the seal up. Once it starts to pull up on one side, go to the other side 180 over and try it again. It's hard to pull a seal completely out because you got to bend it around and yank it, so it doesn't work too good. At this rate, it didn't work too good anyway. That one's done. There, we're starting to get some activity. See, it's slowly starting to come out. This one's in there pretty good. Usually not this much work. Yeah, it's coming out. Okay, that's what we want to see. See, now it's starting to pull it out of the case, see. So now we go on the other side, way over here, try to yank that side out. Boom. One seal out. You didn't want to come. Don't poke yourself on that, it hurts. So you can see what the sealer on the outside of the seal does. Pretty much just shoves off to just being a non-sealed seal. So this seal here is the same thing, except it doesn't have the sealer on the OD. So replace it, because this one here will leak now, guaranteed. Alright, pull that out of the way. And pull this race off. Attempt to get it off anyway. The grease is holding it in right now. You don't want to use any tools on there because that'll scratch the surface. Trying to avoid doing that. There it goes. Hey, it came out. Make sure you did no damage to the surface. That's why I didn't run the seal driver completely in, and I just stayed away from the actual sealing area here where it's nice and smooth. So there's no damage with this, goes right back in. Okay, now we have access to put the O-ring on there that I should have put on before. Except I was too busy doing videos. So there's a groove right there, it's full of grease right now. So I'm going to go ahead and slip the O-ring in there. Kind of looks like this. So next time make sure you put that where you can find it. Don't bury it. Okay, there's our O-ring now. Kind of slip it in there. Go ahead and squish it all the way in the groove so the grease gets dissipated out. Okay. Okay, go ahead and put this back on just like we did before. Kind of roll it around. Should pop right in there when it's done right. Now, the only thing I can't see is what's the O-ring's going to do when I get into there. It should go all the way in and squeeze right in where it belongs. But if it doesn't, we don't really know that. That's why you want to make sure it's completely inside the groove. not sticking up. Feels good. Okay, now that's going to go back in there. Okay, now for the fun part. I have to figure out how I'm going to press that into, push that in there. Now you can hear the punch and the hammer is working on in there. Or you put some kind of a tube over it to beat it in there. I can't use the tool I used before because the transmission is assembled right now. Different deal. So most time I take a big tube like that. And it looks like that'll work just fine. And we just push it in there. But I'm going to have to stack some more blocks on this in the press to make that work. It's a nice stack to go over the end of the main shaft here. Boom. Okay, so I get to go over the press and do a little pressing deal. The problem is that the press ain't tall enough to do that, so I'll probably have to drop it down. We will see. Definitely have to go down. That's why you have a fancy press. There we go, we got room now. Barely. Ooh, look at that, it just makes it. Looks like it's going in good. Got no way of going below the surface, I can only go flush. Okay, let's get a washer and see if that clears. This washer has to not rub on the seal. It's installed. So you push down the washer. I can put my fingernail underneath the surface, so that means it's clearing. So see the gap under there? So you have a little bit of a gap right under here, so that's what you want to see. Things in there like it's supposed to be. And the spacer seemed like it went straight down like it was supposed to also. So next thing I do, I got to put a little bit of Loctite along this outside edge as a sealer to help seal it. So we'll be doing that pretty quickly here. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Okay, I put the Loctite here around the edge. Capillary action Loctite. That's that one there, 290. So it's been sitting for about 20 minutes, letting it soak all the way around. You can see how it's kind of moisture all the way around the outside of the seal. So that sucks in. If there's any kind of a void in there, it'll seal it up. Plus there's a cork behind it, so we're just triple sealing everything. Alright, I don't need a nut on there anymore. It's not going to fall apart. So now we get back to what I started with. Let's put the tranny together. Okay, so first thing I do is put this thing in 2 gears at once. There's 1, there's 2, and you tighten this nut up so that locks the gears together. See, boom, it doesn't turn no more. I go ahead and do that, and I gotta put the lock tab down on that one and then this one, and I'm done. So, get back to real work now. Enough. Okay, now you bend the lock tab over, take it out of gear. That's a good one right there. So, you find a spot where you can get in here, wedge in between the plate, bring the tab over. That's why we bent it over a little bit before. And then I put the channel locks up in there, bring it all the way down. So you gotta make sure you do not bend the steel shield of the bearing behind it. Bending that is not good. Okay, I just use it like a screwdriver like this and just bent it down, like tightening a screw. And I'm able to leverage it in there, like this. And just push it down like that and get it all the way across. So that one's in. Next one is I gotta get the one down here. I don't know if I can get to that one as easy. Probably not. So definitely need 2 hands to do it. So you get it bent up with a screwdriver. You can move it down with a punch and a hammer or the channel locks. Neither what I can find right now. There we go, channel locks. Otherwise known as finger pinchers. They do a real good job of pinching your fingers when they pop off. Or your whole hand. Okay, that gets that one in there. Okay, so that's all locked in there now. Okay, I gotta bend this plate back to where it belongs. It's our dripper. Got kind of bent out of shape and hydraulic press over there. Get our new push rod out. Make sure it fits in there. A lot tighter than the old one was. So there's a bushing running here, brass bushing, you can see it. So it's got a little clearance here, but not too bad. Okay. Make sure you grease that up before you put it in for real. You just want to make sure this fits on here. You see how this is not clearing, so I have to bend it up a little bit further. fine tune it. It's out of the way, but it'll do its job. Okay, there, that should work pretty good. So I'm just going to make sure it's got some clearance down here. It's going to fit where it belongs. Alright, so that's just what we're doing on that. Just check, make sure everything fits. Okay, gears. Lots and lots of gears. Tab. And the nut. Okay, so we're going to put our tab, so our kicker gear assembly on here. First thing you do is make sure the ratchet gear is going to engage correctly. This is the only used part we're keeping, so make sure it works. Appears to be working correctly. It bites in, see. Gears fitted good. Loose, but not too loose. Because you want to make sure you get a little bit of rattle on it, because they will eat themselves up if they're too tight. And there's going to be a key here I need to find. Yeah. See a little square key here. It's actually rectangular, but close to square. That's the key that goes on there. Okay, this has two locking tabs. The gear has two locking tabs, so it fits on there because it's original gear. Modern gear's only got one keyway, so you have to take it and bend this one down. The main shaft only has one key, so it only uses one. The old stock shafts had two keys. Okay, get a little bit of lubricant in here. Okay. And your kicker gear return spring, you need that. It just goes in there like that. Make sure you're engaged on the gear like that. Otherwise it could bind up on you a little bit. So you got to hold the gear in, put the key in, make sure it's in the taper, not overhanging the thread. Put your ratchet gear on there. And your lock. And the nut. Tighten it down. It's a 15/16 nut. If you lock it in two gears again, it quits moving. Make sure it's good and tight. Take it out of gear and rotate. Okay, now I want to make sure the ratchet works at this point. So you got to make sure the teeth are completely engaged. And they also completely disengage. Pull back on the spring right there. And that's barely disengaging. Like almost nothing. Spring is in the wrong spot. Okay. Well, it's in the correct spot. I think it had more disengagement than that. There's only about 30 thou at best of disengagement, which is not much. That will chew up a gear probably trying to release it. Damn. Not much clearance. I don't like that. So I'm going to give me a new gear and see if I got more clearance. The taper might be cut too much on that gear, which will destroy. It'll put these big marks in here if it can't move in far enough. It'll just force itself and groove it. So we'll see if that's a problem. We'll be back. Okay, here's a here's a new one here. So we're going to go ahead and try this one out, see how it works, see if there's any difference. If there's no difference, we'll keep the old one. It's a little short on clearance in there, so let's see how that works. Just use a 2-jaw puller to pull it. Make sure you have your shaft protector here, otherwise you'll break the end of the shaft. Would not be a good thing. Okay, that one's off. Another problem is this, I think, is on top of this. That might be hurting us a little bit. See how that can be bent to go inside of it. So when it stacks up, it would stack up a little bit more clearance possibly. So let's go ahead and see if we can make that happen here. The springs are pretty stiff, so okay, that kind of goes inside of it now. So now we're too close up. Now it stacks flat, see? That in itself will probably give me a little extra clearance. Alright, way back. What?